The following is a production of Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports.
Chafe winds, payoff pitch. Cold strike three. Bishop Garrigan's on to the next round. Peterson flies the one towards fairly deep right field. That one's going to be over everyone's head for a base hit. Coming home to score is Bodie. Peterson on her way to second base, and she slides in safely. Hold that bag, Molly Peterson. It's 1-0 Bishop Garrigan. Hard ground ball down the third base line, fair. Hoagland coming around third base. She will score easily. RBI single by Hannah Marin. 1-0 pitch. Marin flies that one in the air, medium deep left field. Beckman going back on it. Beckman near the fence. That ball is going to carry out of here. Hannah Marin, solo home run. The Gold Bears go up 3-2. She got that one into the jet stream, and it carried and carried and carried.
Video streaming on the Algona Radio YouTube channel is brought to you by Algona Municipal Utilities, community owned for community benefit. Kemna Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. And Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. Now, here's Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports Director, Tyler Lance.
And the playoff journey begins tonight. Welcome on into Hometown Radio, KLGA, and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream for Class 1A. Region 7 action is tonight. The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears host the Harris Lake Park Wolves. The Golden Bears have spent the past couple of weeks rearranging their chairs on their deck, and they feel they found the right combination now heading into the playoffs. Golden Bears have played some of their better games here in the final week of the season, winning 3 out of the last 5, making a few lineup changes down the stretch that have really paid off. As the Golden Bears, they finished 6th in the top of Iowa West this year with an 8-15 overall record, 6-10 conference mark, but they've won 3 of their last 5 games, and like I mentioned, a couple of really commanding wins last week to build some momentum going into the playoffs. Tonight, they'll take on the 5-21 Harris Lake Park Wolves, who finished 11th place in the War Eagle Conference. They've lost 7 in a row, but are trying to flip the switch here, heading into postseason action, as the winner of tonight's game will move on to Wednesday night to take on the St. Edmund Gales. Looking at tonight's starting lineups, first for the visiting Wolves, it'll be the shortstop Sydney Ray leading things off, Corey Niemeyer playing right field and batting second, Maddie Gilmore at second base hitting third, Kendall Niemeyer at first base hitting cleanup, Peyton Reverts, the designated player, batting fifth as she will bat for the flex player, pitcher Bree Vandehoof. Batting sixth for the center fielder Marissa Kruger. In left field, batting seventh, Riley Rankin. The catcher Gracie Gunderson hitting eighth, and the third baseman Lily Gunderson batting ninth. Meanwhile, for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, as I said, they've rearranged that batting order a few times here in the recent games, but they finally have found the right combination heading into the postseason as Alyssa Hoagland, the center fielder, leads things off. Lillian Erpeling-Wickman batting second and playing right field. Zoe Montag at first base hitting third. Hannah Marin at third base batting cleanup. Carly Nielsen, the shortstop, batting fifth. Jenna Peterson, designated player, batting sixth, as she will bat for the flex player, pitcher Addie Bartolo. Shiloh Trainer, the catcher, batting seventh. Brooklyn Birdie in left field hitting eighth. And Molly Peterson, the second baseman, batting ninth, and rounding out the Bishop Garrigan starting batting order. So it's the Golden Bears of Bishop Garrigan and the Harris Lake Park Wolves in Class 1A Region 7 first round action. Like we said, winner playing on Wednesday night at the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge against the state-ranked St. Edmund Gales. We are getting set to go here tonight. We'll take one final timeout before tonight's first pitch on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union encourages positive behavior.
Pride, respect, leadership, and sportsmanship on the court and in the stands. Remember what a great privilege it is to see your team compete.
Thank you for your attendance. Enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game.
Postseason Sports brought to you by
Farmer State Bank, a strong history, a bright future.
Algona Livestock, sales every Monday.
American Glass, for all your glass needs, think American.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle, passionate about teaching, creative about dance.
Daylight Donuts, open early, serving freshly made donuts, rolls, and coffee.
Farm and Home Services, check their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, caring for your pets, big and small, they love them all.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. Postseason sports on Hometown Home Country Radio. Brought to you by
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Signworks for all your signage needs. Also printed shirts, caps, and jackets.
TAFE Wellness Center, Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm insurance agent in Algona.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust.
Good Samaritan Society of Algona, senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping.
The Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Zoe Montag, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Softball on KLGA.
It's the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. It's the Harris Lake Park Wolves on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and the Algona Radio YouTube stream. And heading into the postseason, Bishop Garrigan had 4 different options of who to pitch today, and the choice says a lot. It is Addie Bartolo, Bishop Garrigan's 8th grade pitcher, heading to the rubber. She's pitched in 10 games this season, 4 starts. Her record, 1 win and 3 losses, and her ERA, 7.84. In 22 1/3 innings, Bartolo has struck out 12. She has walked 16, and opposing batters hitting .317 against the Bishop Garrigan 8th grader. But that was probably the most fascinating decision to watch coming into this ball game. Do you go with the pitchers who have thrown the most innings this season? Do you go with the hot hand of Addie Bartolo or Riley Dorning? 2 players who pitched really well the last 2 weeks of the season. They have chosen Bartolo. She really hung in there and battled against a North Union team that won the top of Iowa West this year, only losing 1 conference game. And she kept Bishop Garrigan in that game for about 5 innings before Warriors broke the gates open late. So that outing and a few more appearances for Bartolo late in the season really impressed the Golden Bears and earned her the start tonight against the Harris Lake Park Wolves in this winner-go-home postseason matchup. Sydney Ray, the sophomore shortstop, leading things off for Harris Lake Park, a .412 hitter with a .494 on-base percentage. Ray has walked 10 times and only struck out 5 so far this season, as she will bat right-handed against the right-handed pitcher, Addie Bartolo. Sunny skies, a perfect blue sky here from Bishop Garrigan High School on a beautiful night for postseason softball action. Bartolo ready to throw the first pitch, but the home plate umpire and the batter not quite ready yet, as he says, hold on just a second before we get going. Ray now stands into the right-handed box as we are set to go for postseason action, getting underway a few minutes early tonight as Bartolo sails the first pitch upstairs for a ball, and we are underway from Bishop Garrigan High School. First pitch temperature 80 degrees on a beautiful sun-drenched evening. The 8 and 15 Golden Bears, the 5 and 21 Wolves, as Bartolo's behind in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. The motion and the pitch. That one flied in the air deep towards right center field, moving over Erpeling Wickman, and she makes the catch, turning the wrong direction and then readjusting at the last minute. Erpeling Wickman almost took too sharp of an angle to that ball and almost played it over her head, but she made the catch, spinning around out in right field, and an eventful out number 1 of the game is recorded. Cora Niemeyer will now be the batter. Niemeyer, another sophomore, batting .333, no homers, 18 runs knocked in for Harris Lake Park. Another right-handed hitter as well as Bartolo motions and delivers, and misses outside for ball 1. Harris Lake Park, they have the royal blue high socks, the black uniform pants, and the royal blue jersey top. The white Wolves on the front, white numerals front and back, with that sleeveless jersey top. The pitch by Bartolo. That one is sliced foul first base side, evening the count 1-1. For Bishop Garrigan, it's the black uniforms, the gold bears on the front, gold numerals front and back, and the BG and cross intertwined logo on the shoulders of the uniforms. The pinstripes on the uniforms as well for Bishop Garrigan. Bartolo's 1-1 pitch. Fouled straight back to the screen by Niemeyer, and the count 1-2 as Maddie Gilmore waits on deck for Harris Lake Park. So it's Niemeyer, Gilmore, and then potentially Kendall Niemeyer, the number 4 batter, if anyone gets on here in the batting order of head coach Ross Wargula. Bartolo settles in. The 1-2 delivery. That one misses down for a ball, and the count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes. At the Bishop Garrigan softball diamond, it is 180 feet down the left field line, 195 to the left center field and at right center field gaps. It is 210 to dead center and also 180 down the right field line. Next offering sails upstairs from Bartolo, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bishop Garrigan occupying the first base dugout. That is still in the shade right now. The Harris Lake Park third base dugout, that is drenched in sunlight as the 3-2 pitch, grounded back to the circle, speared by Bartolo, hustles the throw over to first base, and she will retire Niemeyer for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down for the Wolves, and the number 3 hitter, Maddie Gilmore, the second baseman, will step in. Gilmore, the senior, batting .241, but 5 homers on the season, 16 runs driven in. She's one of those all-or-nothing hitters. She can do a ton of damage. Like we said, those 5 home runs, that's tied for the most in the War Eagle Conference, but she's also struck out 19 times this season in 58 at-bats. But you lay one over here, and it could be 1-0 in a hurry as the pitch to Gilmore. And that is a couple inches off the outside corner for a ball. Count 1 ball, no strikes. Harris Lake Park this season, they've had some of the similar storylines Bishop Garrigan has. They've scored some runs, but they have allowed a lot as the 1-0 pitch. Up and away for a ball, 2-0 count. The Wolves averaging 5.6 runs per game, but they are allowing 11. Bishop Garrigan, they're scoring a touch over 8 runs per game, but they are allowing 10. The motion and pitch by Bartolo, and there's a cut and the miss. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Bishop Garrigan's ERA in the regular season was .985, which was last in the top of Iowa West, but they got some very good innings from Bartolo, who pitches better than her stats would indicate, as a 2-1 pitch. Inside corner called strike, 2-2. That game against North Union, a prime example of that. She pitched really well for the first part of that game, but unfortunately one bad inning that night got the Golden Bears and really drove up that stat line for Bartolo. She will check her wristband before climbing back aboard. 2 outs, nobody on base for the Wolves. 2-2 offering. And it missed outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Kendall Niemeyer on deck. If Maddie Gilmore is able to reach base. Outfield medium deep. The corner outfielders protecting the lines as Bartolo tries to buckle down with a 3-2 count. Here's her pitch. And a wave and a miss for strike 3. Bottom fell out of that offering, and the Wolves go down 1-2-3 in the first. Harris Lake Park does not score. Bishop Garrigan coming up in the home half of 1 on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Postseason Sports brought to you by
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Dump It, commercial and residential garbage service.
Weichert Realtors, the 515 Agency.
Neil Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Erpelding Boyd and Company CPAs, they're not just about taxes.
Glenn's Green Thumb, from a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
Tom Eischen Sales, Toro, Steel, and Green Mountain Grills, your store in the country on Highway 18 west of Algona. Postseason Sports on the radio brought to you by
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair, getting you back on the road.
High Point Land Company, your premier destination for land transactions.
J&J Custom Meats, located in Whittemore.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 in Algona.
Tangle Salon, for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Ulrich Construction, let them do the work.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used car vehicle needs.
Hy-Vee, fill your cart, fuel your car with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks card.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Hannah Marin, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Softball on KLGA.
We move to the bottom of the first inning on Hometown Radio KLGA Algona 92.7 FM and the Algona Radio YouTube stream as Alyssa Hoagland, Lillian Erpeling-Wickman, and Zoe Montag will bat against Bree Vandehoof, the 8th grader for Harris Lake Park. How about that? A pair of 8th graders going at it here tonight on the Bishop Garrigan softball diamond for the right to advance to the next round of the postseason. Vandehoof with the motion and the delivery as Hoagland watches, and that one is in there for a called strike. The junior Alyssa Hoagland batting .431, 11 RBI in the season for the Golden Bears, and she has been scorching in the past week. 11 hits in her last 17 at-bats for the Golden Bears. Infield playing in for the slap bunt as Hoagland watches, and that one is ball 1 to even the count 1-1. The 8th grader Vandehoof has pitched in 16 games, 13 of them starts. Her record 4 wins and 8 losses as she has thrown 65 innings, a .657 ERA, 49 strikeouts and 72 walks, and opponents batting .238 against Vandehoof. 1-1 pitch, fouled back to the screen by Hoagland, and the count goes to 1-2. Harris Lake Park as a team, a .675 ERA, the second highest in the 11-team War Eagle Conference, as Hoagland's in a 1-2 hole right now. Golden Bears batting .351 as a team on the season, number 3 in the top of Iowa West behind Forest City and North Union. The 1-2 by Vandehoof. There's a little flare left field, and that one drops in for a base hit. Alyssa Hoagland takes the turnaround first base, but she'll stay right there, blooping that 1-2 pitch to the opposite field, and Bishop Garrigan gets the early speed on the base paths with nobody out. Now it's Lillian Erpeling-Wickman. Erpeling-Wickman moving up to that number 2 spot in the order, and well-deserved. The Bishop Garrigan freshman batting .343 with 3 homers and 18 runs driven in. You don't have a lot of time to talk when she's at the plate. She is going to swing early as Vandehoof misses down for a ball. Hoagland stealing second. Throw down, not in time as Hoagland went in standing and almost overran the bag, but she kept that back foot attached to the bag as the Golden Bears get an early runner in scoring position. Erpeling-Wickman in her last 5 games, 8 for 17 at the plate, 3 home runs and 12 RBI. The 1-0 pitch, Vandehoof missing upstairs, and the count 2-0. That includes an 0-for-3 game in the final game of the season against Belmont Clemmy, that 11-3 loss by the Golden Bears. So prior to that, Erpeling Wickman had 8 hits and 14 at-bats with those 3 homers and 12 runs knocked in. 1-1 pitch. Upstairs again for a ball on the count 2-1. Well, the story pitching-wise for Harris Lake Park, similar to Bishop Garrigan, the Wolves have used 3 different pitchers this season, and the issues have been the same for each one. It's the walks. As Vanderhoof's 3-0 pitch, that one's right over for a called strike, 3-1. Harris Lake Park as a team has walked 168 batters this season, by far the most in the War Eagle. The 3-1 delivery, cut and the miss by Erpeling Wickman. Bottom fell out of that offering, and the count full, 3-2. The opposing batting average against Harris Lake Park and their pitchers, really not all that bad, but it's the walks and it's the errors by this defense that have been costly. Vanderhoof's 3-2 pitch. That one popped foul out of play first base side, and we'll do it again at the 3-2 count. Defensively, Gunderson behind home plate, Gunderson at third, Ray at shortstop, Gilmore at second, and Niemeyer at first. Rankin in left, Kruger in center, and Niemeyer in right for Harris Lake Park. Hoagland at second, 3-2 to Erpeling Wickman. Line drive softly hit towards second base. Back up and step to catch it is Gilmore, and out number 1 of the inning is recorded as Erpeling Wickman faced a rare full count. She's only walked 2 times this season. She's only struck out 4 times, and that's part of the explanation behind the low totals is she just swings at a lot of those early pitches, but give Vanderhoof credit. She fell behind 3-0, battled back into the count, and induces the soft line out as Zoe Montag bats. And Hoagland stealing third for the third base is off into foul territory, and Hoagland safe. Felt she could catch the Harris Lake Park defense napping there, and she was able to swipe third base. So runner in scoring position and a 1-0 count on Montag with an early RBI opportunity. Montag hitting .424, 5 homers, 24 runs driven in. Pitch to Montag, outside for a ball, 2-0 count. Hannah Merritt and Zoe Montag, 1 and 2 in the top of Iowa West in home runs on the season. Zoe Montag also has 9 hits in her last 14 at-bats. Down and away for a ball, 3-0 count. One of the several Golden Bears who was scorching over this last week of action as the Golden Bears won 3 of their last 5 regular season games. And even produced some offense in the losses as the 3-0 pitch. And that one's a called strike to Montag, 3-1. Hannah Marin is on deck. Golden Bears with the early scoring opportunities. The outfield plays towards right center for Montag. No score between Harris Lake Park and Bishop Garrigan. Vanderhoof's 3-1. And that one is ball 4 as Montag leans back from it. And the Golden Bears have him at the corners with 1 out for Hannah Marin. We'll see if and when Montag takes off after Hoagland swiped a couple of bases once she got on. So Marin bats runners at the corners. As she's batting .380 on the season, a conference leading 8 home runs, and also conference leading 32 RBI. Pitch to Marin. That one is ripped. Deep left field. There it goes. It's out of here. 3-run shot by Hannah Marin on the first pitch, who wasted no time in hitting her 9th homer of the season. And the Golden Bears jump in front early, 3-0 here in Algona. That was a line drive missile to left field. No doubt about that one, as it was still on its way up when it left the ballpark. And the Golden Bears grabbed the 3-0 lead. The offensive production continues. That is home run number 22 of the season for this Golden Bear team, most in the top of Iowa West. So the bases clear out. Bags are now empty, but 3 runs in for the Golden Bears, and still just 1 out as Carly Nielsen bats, and she will wave and miss for strike 1. Carly Nielsen and Jenna Peterson guaranteed now to bat this inning. Shiloh Trainer, if either of those 2 get on base. 1 out, nobody on. The junior Nielsen hitting .318. Hits in that stance leading out over the plate. And she'll watch the next offering, maybe a touch high as the count evens 1-1. Lots of big burst of momentum for Bishop Garrigan, and in Addie Bartolo's first playoff game, she'll be able to pitch from in front after working a scoreless 1-2-3 first. 1-1 pitch, fisted foul, first base side, out of play, count 1-2. And you can never underestimate the pressure, of course, facing these 2 8th grade pitchers when they're pitching in their first postseason game, but the pressure now of having to pitch from behind falls on the shoulders of Vanderhoof. And Bartolo will have a little leeway to work with as the 1-2 pitch to Nielsen. And that one may be a bit low, maybe a bit outside. Just missed that outside corner as the count evens 2-2. Those shadows crawling across the first base and second base positions, over the circle as well. Third base and left field, they are being blasted by sun rays as Nielsen dribbles that one third base line, but that'll curve foul. Count stays, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bishop Garrigan on the season averaging over 8 runs per game. You look at their last 5 games, and there was certainly some offense produced, They beat North Iowa 14-1 to wrap up the month of June. They lost to Forest City 18-8. Beat Garner Hayfield Ventura 22-14 as Nielsen takes ball 3. They beat West Hancock 12-1, and then Belmont Clummy cooled off the offense, defeating Bishop Garrigan 11-3. But 4 of those last 5 games, Golden Bears scored 8+ runs, and all 3 of those wins were double digits. Vandehoof's 3-2 pitch. Nielsen chops at first base side, hugging the line but going foul. Kind of tomahawked that ball, might have been a bit high, but for 3-2 count, you're in protect mode, and Nielsen stays alive as the next pitch is going to be number 7 of the at-bat. Nobody on base, 1 out. 3-0 Golden Bears here in the first inning. As Vandehoof wipes the sweat off her hand. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And that one dribbled foul home plate by Nielsen. Boys had a late cut. The ball was bearing it on her hands, and she made that last second hack to try to foul off the 3-2 pitch. Next pitch will be number 8 of this at-bat. Vandehoof's next offering. Nielsen pops it up, middle of the infield. Vandehoof out of the circle, third base side, and she will put it away with one hand as she'll win that extended battle against Nielsen on the 8th pitch. And Bishop Garrigan shortstop is retired for out number 2 of the inning. So 3-0 Golden Bears, 2 outs, nobody on base. Jenna Peterson, tonight the designated player, bats 6th as she's hitting .426, 2 homers, 16 runs knocked in. Her last 4 games, she has 8 hits and 14 at-bats as that ball dips down and away, 1-0 count. The 3-run homer by Hannah Marin, giving Bishop Garrigan the early lead. Marin with that career high in home runs now. After hitting 6 last year, has 9 this season. 1-0 pitch. Peterson a little flare, shallow left field. That one's dropping quickly towards no man's land, and that one's going to fall in for a base hit. Outfield was playing deep. The shortstop Ray tried to go out and corral that ball, but she veered off last minute, and neither of the outfielders were anywhere close to that ball as it dropped in, with Peterson getting the base hit. I think if Ray continues to take a straight line to that ball, maybe she has a shot. It would be a tough over-the-shoulder catch, but those outfielders are playing so deep, neither of them were anywhere remotely close to that ball as the inning continues for Shiloh Trainer. The sophomore hitting .290, 1 homer, 9 RBI for the Golden Bears. Trying to continue this first inning with Bishop Garrigan up 3-0. Vandehoof's pitch, Trainer swinging on the first pitch offering, snap throw back to first, but diving back in safely is Peterson as Gunderson gave her a check. And the count 0-1. Well, no errors yet for Harris Lake Park. That's something to watch tonight, how they can play defensively as the 0-1 pitch. Fouled back by Trainer, and the count 0-2. The Wolves have the worst fielding percentage in the War Eagle Conference this year. They've committed 76 errors on the season with only an .831 fielding percentage. So like I said, for the pitching staff, the opposing batting average is not bad, but a lot of errors by the defense and a lot of walks by this Wolf pitching unit. 0-2 pitch, down and in for a ball. Goes to 1-2 against Trainer. As Brooklyn Birdie, the left fielder, waits on deck. Molly Peterson, the number 9 hitter in the hole, as the Golden Bears try to stretch out this first inning, leading at 3-0. Vandehoof's 1-2. That ball's flat in the air. Left center field gap, racing over, and unable to get to the ball is Kruger, and she overruns it. Heading towards third base, and stopping there is Peterson as the ball's returned to the infield. That'll go as a bloop single for Shiloh Trainer as the Golden Bears have blooped the last 2 in towards that left center field area, and the inning does continue for Brooklyn Birdie, left fielder. That is already the 5th hit of the inning. Actually, check that, the 4th hit of the inning by Bishop Garrigan. They've had 5 base runners, with Montag reaching via a walk. 2 outs, runners at the corners. Birdie batting .229. The freshman of 2 RBI in the season. Right-handed batter. Pitches outside. Trainer racing to second base, and she'll go there uncontested as Gunderson tries to throw behind Peterson at third, but Peterson goes back in safely. Chance for Birdie to extend what is already a 3-0 lead as the outfield plays straight up and deep. Pitches up at neck level to Birdie, and the count 2 balls, no strikes. Peterson on deck. Golden Bears will bat around if they get to her in the first inning, should Birdie reach base. Vandehoof of the 2-0 pitch. That one dips down for a ball, and the count 3-0 on Birdie. First base is open, but your leeway goes away in a hurry here if you lose Birdie on this pitch. 3-0 count. Here's the motion and the 3-0 delivery. Up and away, ball 4. She walks Birdie on 4 pitches, and Bishop Garrigan will send all 9 to the plate here in the first. 3-0 Golden Bears. Molly Peterson, the second baseman, standing in. The senior trying to make sure this won't be her last game as she's hitting .289, 2 homers, 17 runs driven in on the season. Bats right-handed, holds those hands low, and attacks the first pitch, but waves and misses. Van Hoof kept that one on the outside corner, and the count 0-1. Outfield stays deep, especially Reichen in left field is playing almost all the way back at the wall. Very possible bloop to left center field again as that area is wide open. Pitch to Peterson. There's a cut and the miss. Swung over the top of that, and the count 0-2. Reichen in left and Niemeyer in right. They are both incredibly deep. Kruger is medium deep in center. But a ball to the outfield might drop in if it's shallow. 0-2 pitch. Peterson loops at first base side, foul territory, and will do it again if an 0-2 count. Jenna Peterson at third. Shiloh Trainer at second. Brooklyn Birdie at first. Chance for a big inning for the Golden Bears here off one swing from Peterson, already leading at 3-0 over Harris Lake Park in this Region 7 first-round meeting. Here's the 0-2. That's up above the letters. 1-2 to Peterson. Alyssa Hoagland, who led this game off of a bloop single to left field, she's waiting in the on-deck circle right now. The 8th grader Vandehoof back into the circle. Her 1-2 pitch. Peterson found it back to the screen. Just got a piece of that one as she was underneath it and found it directly back. We'll do it again at a 1-2 count. Bishop Garrigan and Harris Lake Park. They haven't met on the softball diamond in the bound era. As the 1-2 pitch. Peterson fly ball towards right center field. Long run for Niemeyer. Out is the second baseman. Gilmore, she can't make the catch. 1 run scores. It's Peterson. Trainer, the second run comes home. And it's 5-0 Golden Bears on the blooper by Molly Peterson. Runners end up at first and third. 5-0 Bishop Garrigan. And once again, that deep outfield for Harris Lake Park coughs up a bloop base hit. Molly Peterson knocks in 2. As she has her 18th and 19th RBI of the season. And it's back to the top of the order for Alyssa Hoagland. Hoagland out of the open left-handed stance. She'll tap that one third base side. Little swinging bunt, but it's going to go foul. And the count 0-1. The second baseman Gilmore had a play on that, but once again, like I said, if the bloop that was hit by Jenna Peterson a couple of batters ago, it's a long run for the infielder where you have to make an over-the-shoulder catch. The outfielder has a better angle charging in, but Harris Lake Park's outfield is playing so deep, like a no-doubles defense, just zero chance to get to that ball. 0-1 pitch. Up high to Hoagland, and Peterson will take second uncontested. Birdie's at third base, Peterson's at second. 5-0 Golden Bears in the first inning. With the slap hitter, Hoagland up, Reichen the left fielder has come in, but Niemeyer and right still incredibly deep. 1-1 pitch. Up and in. 2-1 count. Erpling Wickman on deck. Golden Bears have capitalized here in the first. They say sometimes all it takes is a few bloops and a blast, and the Golden Bears have gotten that. 2-1 pitch. Down and away and picked out behind home plate by Gunderson. Throw back to third and Birdie will dive in safely. Gunderson had the pick on the forehand side for the Wolves, keeping that ball away from the backstop where Birdie maybe could have potentially come home to score. Vandehoof behind though, 3-1 to Hoagland. The motion and the delivery. And down and away ball 4. The bases are reloaded for the Golden Bears, and the 11th player to bat this inning is Lillian Erpling Wickman. Worked a 3-2 counter first time up and ended up lining out to second base. And the outfield will back up once again. Couldn't go a whole lot further back. If the outfield fence in the gap is 195 feet away, those players are probably 185. As pitch is down and away for a ball, 1-0 count. So Erpling Wickman, 12 RBI in her last 5 games. Can she add to it? She has been on a tear lately. Hits front of the right-handed box. 1-0 pitch. And that one catches the inside corner for a strike. Erpling Wickman leaned back a little bit, but that one got the inside corner as the count evens. 1 ball, 1 strike. When the second inning finally arrives, Harris Lake Park will have 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order. As the 1-1 pitch. One hopper towards shortstop. Oh, it took a bad hop into left center field. Here comes Birdie to score. Right behind her is Peterson. 7-0 Golden Bears. That ball was hit to shortstop right at Ray, but it took a wicked hop at the last minute. I called that a one-hopper there, but it ended up taking a late second hop, and that was that second hop. It may have hit a pebble or something over there and just skipped into left center field. 2-run score, and it's 7-0 as Erpling Wickman drives in a pair. Ball 1 delivered to Zoe Montag, the 12th batter to hit this inning. Hoagland is now at second base. Erpling Wickman at first. Driving in a pair there on the bat hop single to left center. Montag takes down in the dirt, and stealing third is Hoagland. Throw is not in time as Hoagland slides in safely. Looked like a little delayed steal there, but she got there safely. Erpeling Wickman advancing on the backside of that play to second base on the double steal by Garrigan. Harris Lake Park having trouble stopping the bleeding of 2 outs. As Vandehoof's 2-0 pitch, Montag fouls it off and it's 2-1. Well, it's a reversal for Bishop Garrigan. How many times this season have we seen Bishop Garrigan be 1 out away from getting out of an inning and then they've given up a bunch of base runners and a lot of runs of 2 outs? It's a reversal tonight. Bishop Garrigan's been doing the 2-out damage as 4 of these 7 runs have scored with 2 outs. 2-1 pitch in there for a strike. Count even 2-2. And remember, Marin hit the 3-run homer with 1 out, then Carly Nielsen popped out, so it was 2 outs, nobody on base. Since that time, 6 straight have reached, and it's 7-0. 2-2 pitch to Montag. Down low for a ball, count full, 3-2. Hannah Marin in the on-deck circle, salivating at the thought of potentially batting if the bases loaded should Montag be walked here. 3-2 count. Vandehoof to the plate. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Vandehoof kept that one up and away, and Montag could not connect as the inning comes to an end. But the Golden Bears send 12 to the plate. They score 7 runs and lead the Harris Lake Park Wolves 7-0, moving to the second on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Postseason Sports brought to you by
Feed Mill Coffee Company, your locally owned coffee shop in downtown Algona.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty in downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Redding Gravel and Excavating, serving Algona and the surrounding area since 1948.
Steyr Ag Aviation, aerial and ground application agronomy service.
Lance and Tracy Ludwig, your Channel seed dealer in Wesley.
Lentz Funeral Home, someone who cares and understands.
Nielsen Trucking, your project is their priority.
JDR Seed of Wesley, your Whipple's seed dealer. The new Massey Ferguson 2M Series compact tractor is here. Designed for those who demand more, the Massey Ferguson 2M Series is built to take on the toughest jobs and longest days. Stay comfortable through demanding hay work, feeding livestock, tough snow removal, or detailed landscaping tasks. Options like a deluxe cab, advanced lighting and soft drive, loader suspension maximize your work time. Learn more at MasseyFerguson.com or visit Carroll Implement in Laverne.
As we come back to Bishop Garrigan High School, first pitch of the inning is fouled off by Kendall Niemeyer. 0-1 count. As Kendall Niemeyer hitting .381 this season, 1 homer, 14 runs driven in. But Harris Lake Park trailing Bishop Garrigan 7-0 as the Golden Bears send 12 to the plate in the second inning. 7 runs, 6 hits, 2 left on base for the Golden Bears. Pair of walks issued as well. Actually 3 walks as there's a ground ball towards the right side. Through into right field, throw to first base, not quite in time. Boy, Niemeyer had to get on her horse and hustle down to first in order to beat that out. Erpeling Wickman had a play at first, but Niemeyer beat that throw by a couple of steps as she has the ground ball single to right field, and Harris Lake Park has their first hit and first base runner of the game, trailing 7-0. Peyton Reverts, the designated player role bat, a sophomore hitting .353, 8 RBI in the season. Motion in the pitch by Bartolo, bunted third base side, curving foul territory. And everyone will have to go back as Niemeyer will retreat to first, and Reverts will head back to the batter's box. Golden Bears off to a great start. 7-0 lead over Harris Lake Park, top of the second inning. The winner in this game plays St. Edmund on Wednesday night at the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge, where the state tournament's held every year. Bishop Garrigan last year in the playoffs had a first-round bye. Then they beat North Iowa and eventually lost to St. Edmund in the third round in the regional semifinals. As pitch is taken, throw to second base as Niemeyer bluffed like she was going to steal, but she went back to first base as that throw went down. Golden Bears saw their season come to an end, 8-0 at the hands of St. Edmund last year, a Gale team that made the state semifinals for Class 1A. Bartolo back aboard the rubber. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball towards third base. High hop from Marin. She fields it. High throw to first base, and it's over Montag's head. Niemeyer heads to third base, and she'll take a turn, and she will stay right there as that ball finally picked up by Montag over in the first base foul territory. Reverts safe at first base on the E5. Well, Marin was expecting that ball just to roll down under her glove. It took a high hop where she had to reach the glove up and make the grab on it. And I wonder if that surprise there, that jumped the heart rate up a little bit, and ultimately she sailed that throw over the first baseman Montag's head as the Golden Bears have their first error. Niemeyer at third, Reverts at first. Marissa Kruger, the center fielder. Kruger dribbles at foul, third base side. Reverts was running, but she'll have to go back to first base as the Wolves have him at the corners. So first and third, nobody out, and this inning set up well for Harris Lake Park, at least as well as it could be when you're trailing 7-0, but a chance to at least try to chip into this deficit. 0-1 pitch, ripped past third into left field for a base hit. That'll score Niemeyer. Everyone else goes station to station as Reverts stops at second base. And Marissa Kruger attacks the first offering and hits it sharply past third base into left field. Wolves are on the scoreboard. It's 7-1 on the top of the second. And that'll bring Riley Rankin to the plate. Left fielder for Harris Lake Park. Rankin, the senior, batting .244 with 3 RBI in the season. Golden Bears have Addie Bartolo in the circle right now. Leading 7-1 as Bartolo missed a bit outside for ball 1. So Reverts at second base, Kruger at first. 7-1 Bishop Garrigan as the Wolves have their first run. And Bartolo getting the call here in this postseason outing. The wind and the 1-0 pitch. And it is bunted down in front of home plate. Trainer grabs it, looks towards third, to first instead, and they will get out at first base as the sacrifice is completed by Rankin. She's retired 2-3, but runners move up to second and third of 2 away. Or beg your pardon, of 1 away in the top half of the second inning for the number 8 hitter, Gracie Gunderson. Gunderson on the season, she's hitting .375. Sophomore catcher has 1 homer, 12 runs driven in. Harris Lake Park does have some power. They've hit 13 home runs as a team on the season. Handful of different players have homered on the year. Gunderson attacks and winds it into left center field, and that one's down for a base hit. Coming home to score is Reverts. Kruger stopped at third, and the line continues for Harris Lake Park. It's an RBI single by Gracie Gunderson, and the Wolves showing they're not going to roll over here in the second inning. Runners at the corners, 2 runs in. Bishop Garrigan's lead now down to 7-2 as Lily Gunderson, number 9 hitting third baseman, comes to the plate. Gunderson batting .279, 3 homers, 13 runs driven in. Gunderson also has 4 hits in her last 5 at-bats. As a courtesy runner will go to first base, Rhea Hykins, the freshman, will run, as she'll run for the catcher, Gracie Gunderson. So Kruger now at third base, Hykins at first, and it's just 1 out for Harris Lake Park. Pitch to Gunderson, flied in the air, left center field, moving over is Hoagland, and she'll make a basket catch in shallow left field where no one can advance, as Gunderson got the ball in the air like she wanted to, but not deep enough to get a sacrifice fly. Runners stay at the corners. Back to the top of the order for Sydney Ray, who flied out to right field her first time up. 0 for 1 today. Well, Bartolo getting the call here in this big game. We've seen a lot of Rakaya Nielsen. We've seen a lot of Brooklyn Birdie on the season, but sometimes it's what have you done for me lately? And Riley Dorning pitched really well down the stretch. And Addie Bartolo had some good innings down the stretch as well, as there's an infield dribbler to shortstop, picked up by Nielsen, throw to first base, bang, bang play, and they got her. Sydney Ray retired at first, and the inning comes to an end. Harris Lake Park strands runners at first and third, but they do strike back for a pair of runs. It's Bishop Garrigan 7, Harris Lake Park 2. We move to the bottom half of 2 on KLGA, Hometown Radio.
Postseason sports coverage brought to you by
Steyr Flooring, home of the Floorinator.
Jake Ingalls Electric, shockingly good service.
Thompson Sewer and Drain, septic service done right.
Electronic Specialties, North Iowa's communication professionals.
Prism Wealth Advisors, your roadmap to financial freedom.
Heartland Mutual Insurance, your trusted property insurer.
Murphy Realty and Management, serving Algona and the surrounding areas.
Cook Scrap Iron and Metal, home for all your welding and steel needs.
Looking for your next vehicle? Drive home happy with Kemna Auto Center, your hometown dealer for new GM, Ford, Jeep, and Ram models. Need something pre-owned? Kemna's got you covered with a great selection, many Bravo certified, each with a multi-point inspection and limited warranty. From friendly sales and finance experts to world-class or master service technicians, Kemna's here to serve you. Stop by Highway 18 West in Algona or visit Kemna.com. Kemna Auto Center, an experience you deserve.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Molly Peterson, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Softball on KLGA.
Bottom of the second inning is Hannah Marin bats. First pitch is skipped in the dirt for ball 1. And back to work. Bree Vandehoof for Harris Lake Park after giving up 7 runs in the first inning. Harris Lake Park answered for 2 in the top of the second. 7-2 right now your score in this first round postseason meeting between Harris Lake Park and Bishop Garrigan. 1-0 pitch in tight, and that one hits Marin, and she will head to first base. So Marin, after that 3-run homer her first time up, she'll head to first base on the hit by pitch, and the Golden Bears have their leadoff runner aboard once again. Number 5 hitter Carly Nielsen popped out to the pitcher back in the first inning, 0 for 1 today. The right-handed batter for the Golden Bears. Here's the windup and the pitch. Vandehoof delivers. It's bunted third base side. Picked up in fair territory. Throw to first base in time for the out. The third baseman, Gunderson, charged in. That ball was clearly going to go foul, but Gunderson decided it's worth it to pick it up and get the out at first base, and she did. Nielsen retired on the sacrifice. That one goes 5-3 in your scorebook. Merritt advances to second. Now 1 out for Jenna Peterson, who singled her last time up. Peterson, the left-handed hitter, takes the pitch. It is above the glove of Gunderson, the catcher, and that wild pitch will allow Marin to advance to third. So Peterson up, runner at third base. Left-handed hitting freshman for the Golden Bears. Now with 9 hits in her last 15 at-bats, following that base hit earlier today. Vandehoof's 1-0 pitch. And called strike, grazed the outside corner. Count evens 1-1. Well, the wild ride continues for the Golden Bears this season. They're not too far away from that 10-run mark, a mark that they've been at 9 times this year. As Peterson hits a ground ball back for the middle, and that one sneaks through into center field for a base hit. Marin comes home to score, and the Golden Bears grab a run back. It's 8-2 Bishop Garrigan on the RBI base hit by Jenna Peterson. But as I was talking about, the Golden Bears 10-plus runs in 9 out of their 23 games this year coming into this one, although they've allowed 10-plus in 13 of 23. Early on, the offense is prevailing in this one. It's a pitch in the dirt to Trainer. It kicks away from Gunderson, and she can't find the ball. Around second base is Peterson. She'll try for third, and she'll go in standing. Gunderson had zero idea where that ball went, and easily going to third base, Jenna Peterson. 1 out, runner at third base, 1-0 count to Shiloh Trainer. Almost no breeze to speak of here tonight. That flag limp out in center field. Right next to the Bishop Garrigan scoreboard in right center as Trainer hits a little flare on the infield. Out of the circle, Vandehoof makes the catch in the very tip of her glove as Trainers are tied on the pop out to the pitcher, as that'll be out number 2 of the inning. Peterson still at third. Brooklyn Birdie, who walked on 4 pitches her first time up to the plate. Eventually came around to score later in that first. Number 8 hitter for the Golden Bears, followed by Molly Peterson in the batting order. Birdie, right-handed batter. The motion and the pitch, and that one just missed for a ball. 1-0 count. When you go to the top of the third, Harris Lake Park will have Corey Niemeyer, Maddie Gilmore, Kendall Niemeyer, all due to hit. Vandehoof the 1-0 pitch. Birdie fists that one foul first base side off the front of the Bishop Garrigan dugout, and the count even at 1-1. That ball was close enough to the on-deck circle where Molly Peterson, taking her practice swing, probably could have swung at that ball and hit it if she wanted to. 1-1 count. Vandehoof back aboard the rubber. She'll bring the 1-1. And that one misses upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike to the freshman Birdie. Birdie trying to pass the baton to Molly Peterson. Golden Bears trying to get both those runs back that they gave up in the top of the second. They've gotten 1 so far this inning. 2-1 pitch. Up and away, 3-1 count. Outfield still very deep for the Wolves, especially in left field and right field. They are really playing against the ball over their heads, but they've given up several bloops tonight. Pitch by Birdie, fouled back to the screen, and we go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner at third base. Bishop Garrigan up 8-2 in this Class 1A Region 7 softball first-round matchup, as Molly Peterson waits on deck. The payoff pitch to Birdie. And upstairs, ball 4. Birdie has a free pass for the second time tonight, and Peterson will get a chance to bat once again, as Peterson, her first time up, blooped a 2-run single back in the first. 1 for 1 today. Runners at the corners. Wolves have Gunderson very shallow at third base. Outfield stays deep for Molly Peterson, who has gone deep twice on the season. Vandehoof's pitch, missed outside, and taking second is Birdie. Harris Lake Park won't make a play on her as Birdie did a little shuffle step. Wanted to see if they would throw down and then jog the rest of the way over to second base. Second and third for Peterson. 1-0 pitch. Peterson, good cut, but fouled it straight back to the screen. Just a bit underneath that, and the count evens 1-1. We've seen a handful of foul balls just straight back by Peterson. Hasn't really squared one up yet tonight, but she is timing up Vanderhoof quite a bit in the first two at-bats. Here's the 1-1. That one above the letters. 2-1 on Peterson. Hoagland, the Bishop Garrigan leadoff hitter in the on-deck circle. The 8th grader Vanderhoof works the middle of the rubber. Her 2-1 pitch. And missed a few inches off the plate outside, and it's a 3-2 count. Well, will the two-out woes continue for Harris Lake Park? Bishop Garrigan scored 4 of their 7 runs in the first after there were 2 outs. Right now, second and third of 2 outs in the second. Pitch to Peterson, and she got right after it as that ball will be fouled back to the screen as it crawls over the screen into the crowd. Nice crowd here tonight. One of the better crowds we've seen so far this season from the Bishop Garrigan softball diamond as folks are coming out for first-round postseason action. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Peterson, a little blooper back to the circle, and the ball is bobbled and it's dropped. Peterson will make it to first base, and coming home to score is Jenna Peterson. That'll be an error on the pitcher, Vanderhoof, and the inning continues for Bishop Garrigan as Molly Peterson brings home her sister Jenna on a little blooper first base side. Vanderhoof had her glove on it, but it's like she closed the glove too early. It bobbled out of the glove, and she couldn't catch it on the ricochet. 9-2 Bishop Garrigan, and it's back to the top of the batting order for Alyssa Hoagland. First and third for the Golden Bears. We'll see if Molly Peterson takes off. Pitch to Hoagland, and it's bunted back to the circle. It's off the glove of Vanderhoof, and everyone's going to be safe. Coming home to score is Birdie. When Vanderhoof didn't field that cleanly initially, there was no chance to make a play, and it's 10-2 Bishop Garrigan. They've scored 3 so far this inning. Even if she fields that cleanly, going to be tough to get Hoagland at first of her speed. But once that ball rolled over her glove, there was 0 chance to make a play. Now Lillian Erpeling-Wickman. Erpeling-Wickman attacks the first pitch. She hits it high. She hits it deep to center field, but not quite deep enough. Back is Kruger to make the grab in front of the fence as Erpeling-Wickman doesn't miss a Fremont homer by much, but she will be the third out of the inning. Golden Bears will play 3. They take a 10-2 lead heading to the third on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Postseason sports coverage brought to you by
Northwest Bank, commitment you can bank on.
Algona Dairy Queen. Check out the Summer Blizzard menu.
Bodie's Moonlight Garden. See them at the Farmers Market.
Capacious Brothers Incorporated, Pioneer Seed.
Flipside in Laverne, open 7 days a week, dine in or carry out.
Snap-on Tools, the most valued tool storage solutions in the world.
Sportsman's Corner, your power sports headquarters for Can-Am and Honda.
Bub's Pie Shop serves delicious lunch and pie Tuesday through Fridays, 11 until 2.
Advanced Drainage Systems, our reason is water.
Living in Iowa sure means we rely on our furnaces and air conditioners to keep us comfortable all year round. That's why Algona Plumbing and Heating is proud to be your local trusted Armstrong dealer. They're committed to bringing you the highest quality products in heating and cooling, and it doesn't get any better than Armstrong furnaces and air conditioners. For all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, give them a call at 295-5240 or stop by their Dodge Street location. Live comfortably with Algona Plumbing and Heating.
Here's a swing and a foul ball on the first pitch to Cora Niemeyer as Addie Bartolo back to work in the top of the third for Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears have a 10-2 lead over the Harris Lake Park Wolves. Bishop Garrigan striking for 7 in the first and 3 in the second. Harris Lake Park had their lone 2 runs in the second. As Niemeyer 0 for 1 today, she'll slice that one off to right field, foul territory, as it'll drop harmlessly. The count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Nice crowd here tonight on this beautiful day for softball action. No breeze to speak of, so a little muggy, but around 80 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. And the final home game of the season for the Golden Bears. They win today, and they are heading on the road for the next round, off to St. Edmund at the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex, as there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Niemeyer's getting ready to slam the bat down at home plate after that, but wisely decided not to, as she'll walk back to the third base dugout instead. And that is strikeout number 2 for Addie Bartolo. Maddie Gilmore, the other strikeout victim, now to the plate. Number 3 hitter 0 for 1 today. The War Eagle leader in home runs of 5 on the season is Gilmore. Right-handed batter, attacks the first pitch and fouls it straight back to the screen. Had a healthy cut at that one, but Bartolo keeping the pitch away. Doesn't want Gilmore to be able to turn on one and drive one out to left. 0-1 count. Well, for those of you who are regular listeners of Bishop Garrigan baseball or softball, you know this is about the time I normally make fun of Beanie Bodie on the broadcast. As here's the motion in the pitch by Bartolo. That one is lined foul, territory first base side, and the count 0-2, but We're not going to make fun of Beanie here today, folks. I'm going to make fun of myself instead. I think I brought a little karma on myself, and I'm going to tell you why here today. Now, normally I'm not really a believer in karma. I think it's kind of silly. You know, you see some of the bad faith actors and grifters today doing well, and you wonder, where's the karma for them? So I'm not really a big karma guy, but I think all the fun that I've made at Beanie Bodie has finally come back to bite me as the count goes to 1-2 on Gilmore. Kendall Niemeyer on deck. Addie Bartolo, the Bishop Garrigan 8th grader, back aboard the rubber with the 1-2 pitch. That one down low for a ball, 2-2 count. Of course, I always tell you folks if Beanie's up to when he can't make it to a game, whether that would be crazy travels all across the globe or sitting back for a great day of reality TV on the couch, including Beanie's favorite show, Love Island, as the 2-2 pitch fouled back over the screen, and the count will stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, this afternoon, folks, and this story will all come together at some point, I promise. I'm getting my workout in before the game. I'm going to the gym, and then I'm wrapping up my session at the gym by sitting in the sauna a little bit and getting focused for the game. And when I go in there, there's an individual watching something on their phone as there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Out number 2 of the inning as Bartolo has back-to-back punch-outs, her third of the game. That'll bring Kendall Niemeyer up, who's 1 for 1 today with a single. But I'm sitting there in the saunas, and I walk in. The individual there is watching something on their phone, and they're not wearing headphones. They're just 100% audio, no headphones, watching it on their phone. And me walking in did not deter them from continuing to watch the program they were watching. As the pitch to Niemeyer, flied in the air right field, Erpeling Glickman charging in, Montag going out, and it's off of Montag's glove in foul territory as she couldn't make the grab. Niemeyer will go back to home plate. And as I sit down and I start to hear what's playing off that phone, I realize it's an episode of Love Island. So as I'm sitting there in the sauna, got to listen in to some of the great reality TV programming that we have available. I think my IQ dropped by about 10 points during that time, so if I sound a little foggy here tonight or a little befuddled on the radio, that's why. But karma came back to bite me there as there's a fly ball hit fairly deep to center field. Hoagland tracking it back, and she makes the grab a few strides in front of the left center field fence as Niemeyer flies out to end the inning. Addie Bartolo works a quick 1-2-3 inning with a pair of strikeouts. Harris Lake Park still trailing Bishop Garrigan 10-2, moving to the bottom of the third on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Tournament sports coverage on Hometown Home Country Radio, brought to you by
Stroman Family Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Fairway Meat and Grocery. Everything's easier, fresher, and faster with Algona Fairway.
Algona Manor Care Center, your home away from home with quality care.
Rothler Electric. Don't be left in the dark.
From our homestead to yours, you'll find what you need at the Homestead Country Store.
Smithfield Foods. Good food responsibly.
Linda K's Microwavable Meals, homemade dinners to go, and catering services.
Miller Construction, proud supporter of student athletes. Postseason sports coverage brought to you by
Northwest Bank, commitment you can bank on.
Algona Dairy Queen. Check out the summer blizzard menu.
Bodie's Moonlight Garden. See them at the farmer's market.
Capacious Brothers Incorporated, Pioneer Seed.
Flipside in Laverne, open 7 days a week, dine in or carry out.
Snap-on Tools, the most valued tool storage solutions in the world.
Sportsman's Corner, your power sports headquarters for Can-Am and Honda.
Bub's Pie Shop serves delicious lunch and pie Tuesday through Fridays, 11 until 2.
Advanced Drainage Systems, our reason is water.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Zoe Montag, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Softball on KLGA.
Bottom of the third inning from Bishop Garrigan High School. Golden Bears leading the Harris Lake Park Wolves 10-2 as Zoe Montag bats. And Montag watches the first pitch for ball 1. Back to work, Bree Vandehoof for Harris Lake Park. Wolves came into today on a 7-game losing streak and in danger of having that turn to 8 as the season could potentially come to an end barring a rally. There's a ground ball up the middle into center field for a base hit by Montag. And Bishop Garrigan, for the third inning in a row, has their leadoff runner get on base. Montag now 1 for 2 today after that base hit. And she'll be aboard first base for Hannah Marin, who was hit by a pitch her last time up. Hit a 3-run homer back in the first. Golden Bears leading at 10-2, trying to win for the 4th time in the past 6 games. Marin swings at the first pitch and hits a ground ball over the bag at third base, down the left field line. Over quickly is the left fielder, Rankin, and she'll cut that ball off, holding Marin to a single. Montag will stop at second base. So much like her home run back at her first at-bat, Marin did not waste a whole lot of time there. Got after that first offering and just hit it right over the bag at third, down the line for a single. The Golden Bears have it set up here in this inning. First and second, nobody out. And Carly Nielsen to the plate. And the pitch will score it away from Gunderson behind home. Golden Bears will move to second and third base on that ball. That got away to the backstop. Nielsen today for Bishop Garrigan. A pop out to the pitcher and a sacrifice bunt. The lone Golden Bear yet to reach base. Their number 5 hitter Nielsen, as that one is in the dirt. Gunderson blocks and keeps it in front. Count goes to 2-0. Now a little shade on the diamond here. There's very sparse clouds here, but whatever clouds we do have are blocking out the sun. 2-0 pitch by Van de Hoof. Nielsen, hard two-hopper to shortstop, picked up by Ray. Her front of first base is low, and it's bobbled and recovered at first base by Niemeyer. Montag comes home with a score on the RBI groundout. That throw was in plenty of time, but it was in the dirt. Initially, Niemeyer didn't pick it out, but she knocked the ball down and then picked it up off the ground before Nielsen got to first base. So even though she didn't pick it cleanly, they get the out. And the run comes home and make it 11-2. Jenna Peterson, hard one-hop smash to second base, knocked down by Gilmore, and she throws it away. She throws it low. Marin scores, and Peterson will head to second base. That'll be an error for the Wolves, and it's 12-2 Bishop Garrigan. That ball caught Gilmore at second more than maybe Gilmore caught the ball. And in her reaction, she quickly unloaded that ball to first base, threw low and in the dirt. Niemeyer couldn't scoop it out, and Peterson makes it all the way to second as Marin comes home to score the second run of the inning. Now Shiloh Trainer, who takes ball one. 12-2 Bishop Garrigan. They've scored every trip to bat so far. As we play in the bottom of the third. Trainer, fly ball towards right field. That one's dropping in a hurry, and that one's down for a base hit. Niemeyer slides in and gets by her. She can't make the catch. Peterson to third base. They will wave her around. The relay throw to the plate won't be made. They'll try for third, and Trainer is safe. Run comes home to score. Trainer blooped to the opposite field, and Peterson comes around to score. I actually think they had a better play at Peterson at home than they had at Trainer at third, but that'll go as a blooper to the opposite field that brings home a run for Shiloh Trainer. And the Golden Bears lead it 13-2. Trainer, 10th RBI of the season. Birdie first pitch swinging. Lines at foul, third base side, and the count 0-1. Bishop Garrigan bringing out the lumber here today. Or maybe more accurately, bringing out the aluminum. I mentioned earlier the walks have been an issue for Harris Lake Park on the season. The errors have been an issue, and they've committed 2 errors tonight, but Bishop Garrigan is just, they're hitting the ball. They have only struck out once, so they're putting the ball in play. There have only been a handful of walks so far, 4 on the game, but most of the base runners are by way of base hits for the Golden Bears. The motion and the pitch. Up for a ball, pops the glove of Gunderson, and Trainer couldn't get a read on that at third base as a kick towards the first base side, so well, you don't get a great jump, you stay put, especially with the way Garrigan is swinging it right now, leading at 13-2. All of a sudden, Harris Lake Park, they're in a spot to potentially be run ruled as that pitch is up for a ball, 3-1 count. Now, with the new rules here in Iowa High School softball, you can't run rule a team in the bottom of the third anymore. You have to go to the top of the fourth inning, but the Wolves are going to have to score. And we'll see how many runs depending on what Bishop Garrigan gets this inning. 3-1 pitch down for a ball. That gets to the backstop. Trainer hustles home from third, and she will score. 14-2 Bishop Garrigan as Birdie works a walk for the third time today, and Trainer will score on the wild pitch, making it 14-2 Golden Bears. Still only 1 out in the third inning. Now, last year, this game would be over right now due to the 12-run rule, but that is not the case here after 3 innings anymore. Pitches up for a ball, snap throw back to first base, and diving in safely is Birdie, as Gunderson couldn't pick her off. Molly Peterson is singled. She has reached it on an error today. As Golden Bears are on top, 14-2 right now. Well on their way to a Wednesday night matchup, a rematch of last year's postseason against St. Edmund. Pitch outside for a ball, 2-0 count. Golden Bears ran into St. Edmund in the regional semifinals last year. Then St. Edmund beat St. Ansgar in the regional final to advance to state. Ultimately got all the way to the state semis before they were knocked off. Pitch will be up and in for a ball to Peterson, and it's a 3-0 count. Alyssa Hoagland on deck. Van de Hoof into the motion with the 3-0 pitch. And it's downstairs for ball 4. It kicks away from Gunderson, but Birdie will take the turnaround second base, and she'll stay put there as Peterson draws the walk. And right after I said the Golden Bears are getting on base via the hit, not the walk, they have walked back-to-back times as it's back to the top of the order for Alyssa Hoagland. Hoagland 2 for 2 today. She's also walked, been on all 3 times. Now Hoagland with 13 hits in her last 19 at-bats. 2 on, 1 out for the Golden Bears, up 14-2. Hoagland starts the bunch, he pulls the bat back, but the pitch is a called strike on the low outside corner. We'll remind you folks, Make sure you give a big thank you to all of our video streaming sponsors. If you see any of the people who work at those businesses, this is the 0-1 pitch. Down and away for a ball, 1-1 count. Our video stream brought to you by Chemna Auto Center, Algona Municipal Utilities, Iowa State Bank, Algona Freeman Auto Body, and PMC Advantage Insurance Services. 1-1 pitch. Down and away for a ball, and it's a 2-1 count. Our scoreboard brought to you by Greg Penning and Company, Certified Public Accountants. And of course, all our great sports club members and postseason sponsors helping us bring you postseason softball. As the pitch downstairs, 3-1 count. Runners are trying to advance. Throw to third base, not in time. Birdie slides in safely. That ball really didn't get away from Gunderson. She blocked it. It was in front of her, but she had trouble finding it right beneath her, and then Birdie had the good jump to get the third. But the Iowa Girls Union and the Iowa High School Athletic Association, they charge a pretty penny to stream these postseason games, so we appreciate all of our sponsors making these broadcasts possible and giving us the ability to stream these postseason video games. Or games on the video, that is, as Hogan rolls it towards shortstop. Ray gloves it. She'll throw to first base. Not nearly in time. Ball's thrown away. Birdie scores. Here comes Peterson. She'll score as well. Hogan on her way to second. That is an infield single plus a throwing error by the shortstop. And the Golden Bears, they're on top 16-2 right now, running away here in the third inning. Still only one out as Hoagland ends up at second base. Birdie and Peterson both score. And this is now a 6-run inning by Bishop Garrigan. They had 7 in the first, 3 in the second, and 6 here in the third. With a quick visit in the circle, a pitching change is going to be made by Harris Lake Park. We'll break for a quick couple of messages on Hometown Radio KLGA and on the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
The definition of sportsmanship is the quality of showing fairness.
Respect and generosity towards the opposing team and officials.
The things you say and do are a direct reflection of your school and community.
Please stay positive and enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game. Enjoy the game.
AMU wishes our local teams good luck in postseason play. The hard work our ball players put in is reflected in their success on the field. AMU follows the same game plan when providing great services for our customers. AMU employees work as a team to provide reliable and affordable services to our community. When you need electric, water, cable TV, high-speed internet, or telephone services, hit a home run with Algona Municipal Utilities. Community-owned for community benefit.
Kasuth Regional Health Center is your home for recovery care. I'm occupational therapist Ben Krause, ready to help you with recovery care. We work with a wide range of patients, helping them get back to the task of daily living and doing the things they want to do. Come home to recover with Kasuth Regional Health Center. Find us online at krhc.com or call 295-2451.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
The sophomore Peyton Reverts is the new pitcher for Harris Lake Park. The designated player now moving to the pitcher's spot as Bree Vanderhoof lasts 2 1/3 innings today. She leaves trailing 16-2 as Lillian Erpeling-Wickman bats. The stats for Vanderhoof incomplete right now, but 2 1/3 innings pitched. She gave up 12 hits, walked 6 batters and struck out 1. 16 runs allowed so far and responsible for the runner on base as Erpeling-Wickman takes up and away for a ball, 2-0 count. Reverts on the season, 16 appearances, 13 starts. The sophomore 1-10 with a 7.34 ERA. Opposing batters hitting 171. She has struck out 36 and she has walked 84 as Erpeling-Wickman takes, pitches in the dirt off of Gunderson's shins and it kicks to the third base line as Hoagland will advance to third. As Gunderson couldn't block that one cleanly and the count 3-0 on Erpeling-Wickman. Well, you know, if anyone wants to swing 3-0, Erpeling-Wickman does. We'll see if she gets a green light or not here if Montag and Marin following. And the Golden Bears up 16-2. Pitch to Erpeling-Wickman. Revert's able to lay that one over for a strike and the count 3-1. But 16 runs, 12 hits today for the Golden Bears, unofficially in my scorebook. 3 errors committed by Harris Lake Park. As the 3-1 pitch, in at the feet of Erpeling-Wickman, and I think that one hit her and did. They're calling dead ball at home plate, so would have been ball 4, but that'll go as a hit by pitch on Erpeling-Wickman, who goes to first. And now it's Zoe Montag, who's 1 for 2 today. A walk, a strikeout, and a single for the Bishop Garrigan senior. Well, Golden Bear fans can start getting ready for the trip to Fort Dodge St. Edmund on Wednesday night, the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex. Make sure you get those tickets online, folks, if you're going there, and make sure you tune in here on the Algona Radio YouTube stream if you're not going. Back pick to third base, ball's thrown into left field, and Hoagland comes home to score. That run belongs to Vandehoof, and it'll be a 17-2 lead for Bishop Garrigan. Up to second base goes Erpeling Wickman. So the book is closed on Vandehoof, who allows 17 runs on 12 hits today. Golden Bears up 17-2. 1-0 to Montag. Montag flies that one in the air, fairly deep towards left center field, cruising over as Rankin, and she'll drop the ball right in front of that 195 sign on the wall. Around third base is Erpeling Wickman, sprinting for home, and she will score. 18-2 Bishop Garrigan. We'll call that an E7 out in left field, as that'll be the third error of the inning and fourth error on the game for Harris Lake Park. Montag will wind up on second base. And the Golden Bears up 18-2 with one out in the third inning. Like I mentioned, last year the game would have been over at this point once it got to a 12-run margin, but with the new rules, you play in the top of the fourth as Marin swings and misses. Montag stealing third, throw by Gunderson in plenty of time, and Montag's gunned down. Golden Bears have swiped third a handful of times so far tonight. First time they've had a runner thrown out stealing today is Montag retired at third base. Just her second caught stealing of the season for Montag in 16 attempts. 0-1 to Marin. And that one called strike. Caught the inside corner, and the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Carly Nielsen on deck. Marin 2 for 2 today, with a 3-run homer to start the scoring back in the first inning. Here's Reverts with the 0-2 pitch. Marin blasts that ball deep to left field. Is it fair? I don't think so. She was out in front of it, and it's foul. Another majestic blast by Hannah Marin, but she was just out in front, and she'll head back to home plate. I'll tell you this, Hannah Marin has 9 home runs this season. She has about 6 or 7 hits that clearly would have been home runs if they weren't foul. She leads the world in foul ball, 230-foot bombs. As the 0-2 pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-2 count. Well, hopefully she gets another chance, but the good news is she certainly knows what a home run feels like. 1-2 count from Reverts. We'll see if Reverts starts to pick around here a little bit, trying to avoid the gopher ball. The sophomore's 1-2. Marin, hard one hopper to third base, backhanded grab by Gunderson. Throw to first base is in time. Really nice play at third base by Gunderson there, grabbing the hot smash by Marin, and the inning comes to an end. But Bishop Garrigan plates 8. Last chance for Harris Lake Park coming up next as they trail Bishop Garrigan 18-2 on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Some of the most significant power outages in recent years have been caused by severe storms. Whether it's lightning, hail, or extreme wind, don't be caught in the dark. At Murphy Farm Services, our top-of-the-line Generac or Cummins generators will automatically power your home in the event of a power loss. Financing's now available. Already have a standby generator? Call us today to get on our preventative maintenance list to ensure your machine is running at its maximum efficiency. Contact your local certified ag electrical and generator sales and service dealer. Murphy Farm Services, delivering the power you need when you need it.
2 of the biggest investments most people will make in a lifetime are your home and vehicles. Rest easy knowing that they are well protected with proper insurance from Central Financial Group. We offer a comprehensive and specialized approach to protecting your belongings from everyday disaster. As an independent insurance agent, we work side by side with multiple companies to make sure you are getting the proper coverage at a proper price. Visit your local Central Financial Group office in Algona, Emmitsburg, Wesley, or Britt. Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Bishop Garrigan having a party in the park of their own tonight as the Golden Bears lead Harris Lake Park 18-2 heading to the top of the 4th inning. And a new pitcher for Bishop Garrigan as the ball is delivered down low for ball 1. 3 innings for Addie Bartolo tonight. She does her job. And Riley Dorning takes over for the Golden Bears. So Bartolo goes 3 innings tonight. Only allows 3 hits and 2 runs. As Dorning motions and delivers. Downstairs for a ball, 2-0 count. Well, it seemed like for the first half of the season, we only saw a couple appearances by Bartolo, and we didn't see any appearances by Dorning, but Dorning made a few late season appearances and really made an impression. 2-0 record. Dorning has pitched in 3 games, 1 start. A 2-0 record, and she's thrown 6 2/3 innings with a 5.25 ERA. 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. Opponents hitting 171 against her. Peyton Reverts takes that pitch downstairs, and it's a 3-0 count. So Bartolo ends up striking out 3 batters tonight in her final stat line. Did not walk anyone while allowing 3 hits and 2 runs. In line for the win should the Golden Bears hang on to the 16-run lead. The 3-0 pitch, and that is ball 4 as Dorning issues the 4-pitch walk to Reverts, and Harris Lake Park has the leadoff base runner on. Well, it's the top of the 4th inning. Harris Lake Park has to get this game underneath 10 runs in order for it to continue. So they would have to be able to get at least 7 this inning. Their only scoring so far was 2 in the second, taking a 7-0 ball game to a 7-2 ball game, but the Golden Bears answered for 3 in the bottom of the inning and then 8 in the third. As pitch is delivered, ball 1 by Riley Dorning, and it's a 1-0 count. But it's a credit to both Bartolo and Dorning, kind of waiting their turn pitching-wise. As Dorning goes into the motion and brings the 1-0 pitch over the plate for a called strike, 1-1 count. It can be frustrating as a pitcher if you're not getting varsity innings. As we know, Golden Bears just have a lot of mouths to feed when it comes to pitching, 4 different options to go with. And Nielsen and Birdie were getting a lot of the early innings in the season, and Bartolo and Dorning getting a lot of the JV innings is the 1-1 pitch. Down for a ball, 2-1 count, but they both waited their turn, and then when the opportunity presented itself, they at least showed enough for Bishop Garrigan to give them a postseason opportunity and a chance to pitch even more. So 2-1 count. Dorning has fallen behind Marissa Kruger, the center fielder, who's 1 for 1 off an RBI single. Dorning's 2-1. In at the feet of Kruger, it goes to the backstop, and that will allow Reverts to go up to second base with nobody out. Just hitting 8 o'clock here on Hometown Radio KLGA Algona, 92.7 FM, and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Bishop Garrigan has done a lot of damage in 1 hour. 18 runs on 12 hits. They lead it 18-2 in the top of the 4th. As Kruger faces a 3-1 count right now from Dorning. The wind and the pitch. That one fouled straight back, just over to the right of the press box. Almost had our second press box ball of the season. We had one in that afternoon game against Garner Hayfield Ventura come up here and rattle around a little bit. That one a little bit off to the right, though, as the count goes 4-3-2. Riley Rankin due up next. We will remind you people who are listening here today all around the radio dial and internet on the YouTube stream is the 3-2 pitch. There's a little dribbler foul third base side. Bishop Garrigan baseball tomorrow night. They take on GTRA in the second round of the Class 1A postseason. Golden Bears defeated North Iowa on Saturday 10-0. GTRA beating North Union 5-4 also on Saturday down at the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge. Here's the wind on the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Dorning battles back as she punches out Kruger for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring Riley Rankin, who laid down a sacrifice bunt her first time up. But our broadcast will get underway around 6:50 tomorrow night, right here on 92.7 KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. It'll be the Golden Bears against GTRA for the first time since 2021, when those teams met in the postseason that year. Winner will move on to the district championship game against the winner of St. Ansgar and West Bend Mallard, as a little half swing there by Rankin, and it's strike 1, 0-1. West Bend Mallard today defeating Northwood Kensett 9-3. In a game you may have heard on Home Country Radio KLGZ and may have seen on the Algona Radio YouTube stream, as we sent Brian Wilson over to Gilmore City, one of his favorite places in the world, as the 0-1 pitch flied in the air, shallow center field, going out the second baseman Peterson, and she squeezes the ball. That was right in the heel of her glove, but she held on, and Rankin retired for the second out of the inning. Harris Lake Park down to the final out. St. Ansgar had the first round bye, so again, winner tomorrow night between Bishop Garrigan and GTRA, and the baseball diamond faces the winner of St. Ansgar and West Bend Mallard on Saturday for the district championship. Last hope for the Wolves is Gracie Gunderson. 1 for 1 of an RBI single is Gunderson. Dorning to the plate. In the dirt, knocked down by trainers, deflects at the third base line, and she kept it in front and keeps Reverts at second base. 1-0 count. 18-2 Golden Bears. Well on their way to Fort Dodge on Wednesday night. Take on the state-ranked St. Edmund Gales, the lone 1A school in the North Central Conference. The 1-0 delivery. Gunderson pops that one up near home plate. Trainer is underneath it, and she makes the grab, and the Golden Bears are moving on. It was a dismantling tonight. Final score, Bishop Garrigan 18, Harris Lake Park 2, as the Golden Bears will play at St. Edmund, 7 o'clock on Wednesday night here on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. We'll wrap it up after this on 92.7 KLGA.
At Red Power, your local Case IH dealer, they want you to put the very best into your machine so you can get the very best out of your machine. Choose to use Case IH genuine parts. Only Case IH genuine parts are specifically engineered to fit and function properly with your Case IH equipment. They deliver the performance your business demands while giving you the durability your schedule depends on. So when you want to maximize your performance, go to the original Case IH genuine parts. Visit your local Red Power team in Bancroft, Corwith, West Bend, or Humboldt. Sure, you can shop the big box stores if you just want to be a number, but if you want knowledgeable staff with personalized customer service, you need to shop local at North Iowa Appliance Center. They go that extra mile to make sure prices are competitive, and they focus on stocking high-quality, reliable appliances from trusted brands. The roots of this family business began 47 years ago, and they're still going strong today. North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest, carrying Maytag, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Amana.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
Is your student athlete on the injured list? We can help. This is Wendy Wagner, Physical Therapy Assistant at Kasuth Regional Health Center. As a former student athlete and coach, I want to help you get back in the game feeling healthy and injury-free. Our staff works closely with local healthcare providers and specialists throughout the area for a recovery plan that works for you. Best of luck to all our area athletes this season. We will be cheering for you.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
Postseason sports coverage brought to you by
Northwest Bank, commitment you can bank on.
Algona Dairy Queen. Check out the summer blizzard menu.
Bodie's Moonlight Garden. See them at the farmer's market.
Capacious Brothers Incorporated, Pioneer Seed.
Flipside in Laverne, open 7 days a week. Dine in or carry out.
Snap-on Tools, the most valued tool storage solutions in the world.
Sportsman's Corner, your power sports headquarters for Can-Am and Honda.
Bub's Pie Shop serves delicious lunch and pie Tuesday through Fridays, 11 until 2.
Advanced Drainage Systems, our reason is water.
Back here to wrap things up from Bishop Garrigan High School tonight, where the Golden Bears roll in the first round of the postseason. Final score today, Bishop Garrigan 18, Harris Lake Park 2 in the Class 1A Region 7 softball first round. The Golden Bears is the win. They will move on to face St. Edmund on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock from the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex in a rematch of last year's regional semifinals. Looking at a few unofficial final numbers for tonight, for the Golden Bears, it was 18 runs on 12 hits. They left 4 on base and committed 1 error. For Harris Lake Park, 2 runs, 3 hits. They commit 4 errors tonight and leave 3 runners stranded on base. The scoring numbers for the Golden Bears by inning: they scored 7 runs in the first, 3 in the second, and 8 in the third. Harris Lake Park, no runs in the first, 2 in the second, none in the third, and none in the fourth as this game ends in a run rule. 18-2 win for Bishop Garrigan. The win tonight went to Addie Bartolo, the Bishop Garrigan 8th grader, through 3 innings as she allowed 3 hits and 2 runs, struck out 3 and did not walk any batters. Riley Dorning working a scoreless 4th inning as she walked 1 and struck out 1, did not allow any hits or runs. The loss today went to Bree Vandehoof for Harris Lake Park, as Vandehoof goes 2 1/3 innings today. She ends up giving up 12 hits, allowed 17 runs, walked 6 and struck out 1. Peyton Reverts throwing the final 2/3 of an inning for Harris Lake Park. A couple of standouts offensively tonight. Well, really more than a couple when you score 18 runs. There's a lot of offensive standouts, but a few of the players that stood out offensively. Alyssa Hoagland, Bishop Garrigan's leadoff hitter, continued her tear at the plate as Hoagland went 3 for 3 tonight. She was on base all 4 times today for the Golden Bears. Hannah Marin hit a home run early in this game, a 3-run shot back in the first inning to start the scoring off. Her 9th home run of the season. Marin ended up 2 for 3 today. She was on base 3 different times. Also getting 2 hits, Jenna Peterson finished her night 2 for 3, was on base 3 times for the Golden Bears. Shiloh Trainer, the number 7 hitter, went 2 for 3 as well. And Brooklyn Birdie didn't have any hits, but she did walk 3 times in a row. She was on all 3 times tonight. Molly Peterson had a base hit, reached on an error, and also walked as the number 9 hitter for the Golden Bears on all 3 times tonight. So Golden Bears win this one. Final count of 18-2 over Harris Lake Park, and like I mentioned, they'll take on St. Edmund coming up on Wednesday night. A couple of other final scores from around Region 7, at least the ones that have been reported so far to Bound. It was GTRA shutting out West Bend Mallard tonight 14-0 as they'll take on the winner of North Union and West Hancock. That final score not reported yet. South O'Brien beat Trinity Christian 14-12 as South O'Brien will take on Akron Westfield in the next round. And Galen Catholic shutting out George Little Rock 7-0 as Galen Catholic will visit Remsen St. Mary's in the next round, all on Wednesday night. As I mentioned earlier, don't forget to tune in tomorrow night as the Bishop Garrigan baseball team will take on GTRA. 7 o'clock first pitch. And 6:50, right around that time, our broadcast will start right here on 92.7 KLGA. So we'll have that coming your way tomorrow night here on what should be another hopefully beautiful night from Bishop Garrigan High School. With that, we will sign off. Big thank you once again to our video streaming sponsors, Kemna Auto Center, Algona Municipal Utilities, Iowa State Bank, Algona Freeman Auto Body, and PMC Advantage Insurance Services, as well as all of our great sports club members who make this postseason broadcast possible. This has been a sports production of KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. I'm Tyler Lance signing off. Once again, your final score, Bishop Garrigan 18, Harris Lake Park 2.